Hello, here is BB Walker. Welcome back to another Saturday video about the Yamaha PSR S670 keyboard. We are in new arranged location in a garage studio, so let's get started. Today I decided to make some videos explanation about the terms that you were asking in comments. There are several of them, and if I remember all, I will try to explain. So first thing is to auto fill in feature. It can be enabled or disabled. Of course, most of the features in the left side of the keyboard refers to the style, and actually in this condition is this rule applies. So basically, let's take a look which styles we got here. It's a hard rock tempo 120. Okay, I think it's okay to demonstrate how it works. So basically, if by the default you get this autofill in disabled and you are playing something, of course you need to enable accompaniment. You got 4 variations. So if you have this option disabled and you are changing the transition even without the accompaniment, with the beat alone, it changes to another variation without this nice breaking fill in between sections. So you know, it's changing the pattern or changing the chords are played in the style variation without any nice transition. So if you enable it, the difference is that take attention what will happen with the beat and the melody, I mean the accompaniment, during the changings. So we start from A again, but this time there is autofill in. Start. So you can hear the difference. It makes the transition. So it doesn't change the variation immediately. It's blinking. It means that they are playing this fill in, and this is done by the auto fill in option. Another thing is this break in. Actually, if you are playing the rhythm, you can press the break and it backs again to the same rhythm. If you take a look at the bars that play, you will see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And depending on when you will press this, I'm try to focus the depending on the style, this break-in could have some variation. I mean, it doesn't sound exactly the same each time you press it. It depends actually where are you here in a bit. if you are at the beginning of the bar or at the end of the bar. If we have, this is 4/4 bit, you can see it here, 4/4. I will zoom it for you. So this 4/4 actually means there are 4 bars, quarter notes, to make the whole section of the rhythm actually. Most commonly used is 4/4, sometimes is 2/4, and depend on the style of the music that you are playing. So basically break-in also breaks this standard bit to make some more articulation, more interesting performance. But if you are, I mean, it refers to the bit itself, but if you play with the accompaniment, the break-in, it also have some you know, variation in the style, some melody. Let's change the style for something else. This hard rock isn't playing the instrument all the time. Maybe we should go something from pop and rock. Let's look for something like a rock shuffle. Let's try this one. Pump. So as you can hear, you could also press the break in and hold it, and if you hold it, the melody will stop for playing in another. So it's a good time for you know, if you are performing live, you want to make some solos or some nice interesting performance expression, that's a good option to hold it, and the melody will also stop. So this chord progression, depending on the style, if the style has a chord progression or only one chord progression, it depends on the style, but it will still hold and give you this break, and you push it out so the melody goes down. So it's nice for this performance. So actually, as a summary, this break-in could give you break in bit in the drums if you are playing only the drums, and if you have the style, it also make, of course, this drums transitions, but also if you are pressing and holding, it gives you stop of the style. So I think it's interesting feature. So audio fill in we have already talked, break-in we have already talked. The interesting trick, you could assign this break-in into a foot controller, and I use it to have this one foot controller. So if you enter, I have also explained this on another video, but if you enter the function and you go to the second stage, sorry, it is in first part of the menu, into controller, and you press here. You could use this first foot pedal to break in. I will try to find it very fast. Fill up, fill down, fill break. This is actually the simulation, the same things like you will press this one button here. Fill down means go up from variation 1 to B, up, and this is fill down, so going left direction, up going right direction, and if it ends after D, fill up goes again to A. So this is the feature. How could you assign this break-in into foot controller? It's cool if you are using this instrument as a drum machine and perform, for example, on a electric guitar. As you can see on my videos, I do a lot of stuff like this. So autofill in, break in, and fade out, fade in. Also, there was a question how this works. So basically, it is also switch up. I mean, disable, enable. By default, is disabled. So how it works? There are several ways to start the style. You can press the intro variation and press the start. So this starts with intro. If you disable the intro and start from the section A, press start. It starts immediately, which means you are entering the main section. But sometimes you want to fade, I mean constantly increasing the volume of the style. So to start with such a way, you are pressing fade in, fade out, and take a look what will happen with this blinking red, I mean with this LED. So if I start now, you can start with this nice increasing volume from 0 to the maximum level of the style volume. It blinks, it means it's in transition mode, so if it stops blinking, it disappears. And as you can see, if I stop, it stops immediately. But if you want to fade out, I mean to stop the style the same way like you started, you do the following: you press it, play, press again, and if you press instead of start stop, this will fade out, I mean in stops playing. So let's take a demonstration. So start with fade in. Okay, and it stops. So actually, if you press fade in, you need to press start to style nicely fading in. But if you want to fade out, you just only press this button. You don't have to press stop. It actually, it's logic. It nicely stops the style for you. Okay, so we have make these 3 topics that I have for this one. And also, if I remember, there was also a question about the balancing, the mixing of the styles, I mean the separating channel volume settings. So basically all the stuff you get here under the mixer. If you press the mixer once, you can change the volume of song style, left, right, and so on. If you press the mixer again, you are entering into more detailed section. I mean, you can change the volumes of each part of the style. If you check the video about the style creator, looping, and these advanced features, you will notice that each style can consist of 2 parts of rhythm, and there are several parts. They could be named and assigned different instruments. In this particular style, this rocky funk, whatever, there are 2 parts of sections with rhythms, drums, the guitars, another guitar, piano, and so on, and phrases and again. And if you start this, you can change it in real time. You can see this blinking. It means which instrument is now playing, I mean in part. And this bass guitar I cut down. I give more bass, less guitar. So in this mixer section, you can actually assign all the stuff you want. The trick is that you need to press it twice. I mean, you press it once and you press it twice to enter the section of the style, detailed section of the style. I mean, in the first screen you change the actual. You get also, here is the description, what you are changing. So here is the song channels. Again, pressing, you are changing the panel part, which is the most common, the first one, when you change all the total volume of songs, styles, paddings, left, right, voices, and so on. I think it's all for now. Of course, please refer to my channel. There are a lot of explanation from the beginners and for more advanced users about this Yamaha PSR S670. But please be advised that this all this knowledge actually refers to all the Yamaha instrument. I mean, even the other producers like Casio, Korg have the several very similar things, but in the PSR S line, actually all this applies also to PSR 950, 970, 700, 800, 900, all these models that are available on the market, or these previous models that are not available at this time. So thanks again, it was Saturday tutorial with PSR S600 BB walkie